Love Letters to Virginia, the podcast that keeps Virginia on the map, is sponsored by Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. Welcome back to Season 2 of the Love Letters to Virginia podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa Pasmino. Thanks for listening. Hi, everyone. My name is Brittany Cornine. I go by Brittany Jane or B Jane preferably. I am a community leader, an activist, a mental health advocate, many different things at any given time. I actually recently just launched my program, so I am the founder of 757 Community Closet, which is a program that helps basically provide basic needs to the unhoused population in the 757. So by basic needs, I mean just like basic clothing items, hygiene kits, and food when it is available. And I'm also a volunteer with a couple different organizations. One is located in California. I do discussions for them via Instagram Live. And I am also a executive field coordinator for VIP, which is located here in the 757.
How do you keep yourself grounded?
Oh, that's a good one. Honestly, it never really quite feels overwhelming, to be perfectly honest, because I think I just love it so much that it doesn't really ever feel like, I guess, like work, if that makes sense. But it's really just knowing when to take time for yourself. It takes a lot of organization too, like I have to have a planner. I have to keep a calendar because, I just like to know what to expect for my week coming up. That's important to me. And yeah, just like knowing myself and when I'm reaching my levels of like potential stress or like overwhelmed or like frustration. So once I reach that, I'm like, okay, I need to like pedal back a little bit. So
How did you get involved with the organizations that you're working with right now?
So Above the Stigma, I actually came across them on Instagram. So I saw a post one day that they were, taking volunteers and that you could be located anywhere in the United States because you could host discussions via either Zoom or on Instagram. So I just I filled out their Google form, and then eventually like they contacted me, and everyone was really, really, really nice and helpful. And that's kind of how I got started. So I just started planning. I do about 2 discussions a month, and I've been with them for a couple months now. So that was really cool because they're actually located, I think I said this, but they're located in California. So it's cool to have those different connections with people that are all the way over there. When I first started with them, they actually were just doing Zoom, but then they introduced the Instagram Live, and I was like, I would really like to do that because I kind of just like that platform better because I felt like it was a little bit more casual, like people could kind of, come and go, but it's still private because they don't really have to, talk or anything like that. So I've really enjoyed doing Instagram Lives, and I will continue to do those. And I've done a couple lives with some other organizations there that I'm still working with. So that's been cool as well. And VIP, since I'm very active in VIP, the person that I'm dating, that's actually his best friend's organization. So I met Cam through him, and like I just liked hearing the stories about what he did. And I just really admired him as an activist and, as a community leader. But one day he posted something about, wanting to raise some money for, for the kids or whatever. And I was like, hey, I'd love to help you plan a fundraiser. And then the fundraiser turned into the block party. So that
Wow.
is how I got started doing that. Yes. I would say for the next 6 months, I mean, I have paperwork in the works for actually turning 757 Community Closet into a nonprofit. So hopefully that goes as planned and it can actually be something that is official. Because I think that that will give me an opportunity just to fundraise on a larger scale, knowing that, people can actually see like, okay, this is like an official nonprofit organization. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, to just continue event planning with VIP. I mean, there's so many things that we all want to do. So I'm just going to keep at that. I will be an LPC, so a licensed professional counselor, within like the next 2 years or so, or 3 years or so.
Good for you. That's a beautiful thing.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm very excited about that and definitely ready to start, doing the work, but it takes time.
Did you grow up in Norfolk?
Yes, so I grew up out there and then I moved out to Virginia Beach. So I've kind of like bounced between the two, but I've settled in Virginia Beach for now. I came back here in 2005 and I've been in this area since.
What's your favorite place in Virginia?
Ooh, like in the whole state of Virginia or like the 7-5? I'll be honest, I really haven't traveled that many places in Virginia. It honestly like shocks me just how many places there are that I've never heard of. But I mean, Virginia is pretty big. So so I'll say one of them is like I love the Shenandoah National Park. I think that's so beautiful that we have that here. So that's a really incredible thing to experience. And I think that everyone should do it at least once. I know there's so many other natural wonders that I haven't gotten to see yet, but they're on my list. Richmond. I love Richmond. Richmond will always have a special place in my heart. Um, so for those that don't know, Virginia State University is probably like 30 minutes or so from Richmond. So when I was in school at VSU, I went to Richmond pretty often just to like hang out and I like to go down by the river. So that's a special place to me. And then of course home. I love it here.
Do you have any favorite restaurants out here or favorite local businesses?
Oh my gosh. Ugh, I could go on forever on the subject of that. But I'm gonna just shout out a few of my favorites. I've got to go with Esoteric first. That's located on 17th Street down at the beach. And that has just been my spot for a really long time. My dad and I, about 4 years, started going there weekly for like a weekly dinner together. So we've just grown really close with the staff, and they're all just amazing. And I love to see the business grow. So that's been really cool.
I love that.
Stockpot is one of my favorites as well.
Mm.
There's a Virginia Beach and a Norfolk location, so y'all can check them out depending on where you're located. Both are great. I got to talk about Nico's real quick because not a lot of people have heard of Nico's. It is a taqueria that's on Holland Road in Virginia Beach, and they have the most amazing tacos. I've eaten a lot of tacos in my life, and they're definitely up there for me. So Nico's, y'all can Yelp that.
I'm so glad you know Nico's. That's our neighborhood place.
Oh, nice. Oh my God, I love it. I do my best to spend my money in the community as much as I can, whether that's, you know, kind of like holding out and waiting till a farmer's market to get something, whether it's produce or like, if I need jam or something, like something simple that I know I could get at the grocery store, but I'm like, I'll wait and until I can go to someone local. I like to do that. Norfolk smoothie, that's my spot too. I make a lot of smoothies at home, but if I don't make a smoothie at home, they're definitely my go-to. So
Sounds
I
good.
definitely gotta shout them out.
How do you recognize someone from Virginia?
Oh man, that's definitely interesting.
They say that people here don't have an accent, but as soon as I started to hear you talk the first time, I was thinking you were probably from Norfolk.
Okay. Yeah, that's funny because that is, I don't know. I'm just like geeked off of that because that's so funny because I hear that all the time from other people that aren't from here. And then when me and my friends that are from here talk amongst each other, we talk about the fact that people say that. And then we're just like, but we don't have an accent. Like, you know what I mean? So to hear other people say it is like, that's funny that it's like legit a thing, but we just don't recognize it because we're always around each other.
Do you have a hard time coming up with content ideas for your podcast? I find that there is nothing more embarrassing than all of a sudden being stumped in the middle of a conversation where it's like, I know I had more questions for you, but I just can't remember what they are right now. And that's why I'm trying Poddex. Poddex is the best all-in-one podcast idea generation tool. You get everything from episode ideas to interesting conversation starters for interviews, engaging discussions for your live streams, and even social media content ideas. With this tool, you don't have to spend weeks trying to come up with content for an episode or unique questions for your guests. Just shuffle the cards and pick one at random, hit the record button, and get started. Now you can make better content, have more fun while you're at it, and get your viral moment, all with Poddex. Head over to poddex.com and use code C4C.
Hey, this is Latasha Holloway. I plan to be the future mayor of Virginia Beach, but when the time comes, I will need your support. As a veteran of the healthcare field, I understand something about empathy. We must have empathy and compassion in order to improve Virginia Beach.